Hello everyone, it's Thursday, it's the 20th of November in the year 2020 and it's sunny and cold in York today. I'm not sure what it's like where you are because I'm not there unless you're nearby and you're not where I am, so there you are. This will become more coherent, I hope. I thought this morning I'd talk, as I round off the week, Monday to Thursday anyway, about first world problems. The Twitter hashtag first world problems appeared about 10 years ago, and in 2012 the Oxford Online Dictionary added first world problems to the phrase was added to the dictionary as a way of kind of expressing the frustration we feel in first world environments when things don't quite go the way we want or we're inconvenienced in some way. So, for example, if you look on the Wikipedia page, because there is actually a Wikipedia page for everything, including first world problems, things that have been cited as first world problems include slow internet access, not being able to find items in a shop, bad tasting fruit, getting a bad haircut, television remote not working, poor mobile phone coverage, all kinds of things that are, on the whole for us, inconveniences. So you might see someone posting on Twitter with the hashtag first world problems, desperately needed a ripe avocado today and all of them in the shop will be ready tomorrow. Hashtag first world problem. Well, today I have a first world problem, and it's a not insignificant one. It is a deep disappointment that I can't do something I really wanted to do. And that something I really wanted to do was to take this, which is my ice axe, along with my crampons and my boots and all of my outdoor gear, and one of my best mates, Martin, and to go to Scotland. Tomorrow morning, Martin and I would have been leaving before dawn to drive up to Crianlarich, just north of Loch Lomond, to stay in a bed and breakfast. We stayed in for the first time a long time ago, to go and climb some winter hills. Now, yeah, that might sound like an inconvenience, but it feels like more than that for me, because Martin and I live half an hour away from each other, and we see each other ridiculously seldom, to be fair. We are incredibly good friends, and I'm going to miss enormously the conversations we would have had in the car on the way there and back, the memories we would have forged together. Just staying in a bed and breakfast, I've only stayed in once, to be true, and a long time ago, in what feels for probably both of us like it was in a former life. He and I haven't actually climbed a mountain together for just over 3 years. And there are reasons for that. I have a small child in my life. Martin has started what is now a very successful law practice, branched out on his own, and life has intervened. So both of us have been poring over maps independently, sending each other messages about which hills we might do, wanting to climb Ben Cruachan, which we started. We set out to climb last time we were up, staying in the bed and breakfast we were going to stay in, and were turned back by the amount of snow in a gully that looked like it might avalanche, and so we decided that it was more wise to be alive than to try and climb up it. We have some very particular memories of not just hills but conversations and connections, and I'm really going to miss that for the next 3 days, because I've spent the best part of 2 months really looking forward to that. First world problem. It is really, because here I am at home. I have a hot cup of coffee. I've been out on my bike this morning. I'm in a warm house. The gas engineer came yesterday. Everything's fine. The heating's on. There's food in the cupboard. I have work. My wife has work. We have money. We are healthy. Everything about our lives is as we would hope it would be, apart from things that are inconveniences and things that are painful. Her family live in Germany. We haven't been able to see them since the summer, and that possibility sort of vanishes into the new year now. But they really are first world problems, and I just want to share with you, and as I'm sure you feel it as well, for those of us who feel those things most powerfully in all kinds of direction. The importance of actually not just dismissing the emotion attached to the things that feel like first world problems. Because actually for me, not going climbing mountains with Martin is more than an inconvenience. It will diminish my experience of this year, of this time in this year, of the way that sitting on a hill alone or with him, and all the process of getting there and all the traveling and everything accompanying that feeds me, feeds my soul, feeds my body, feeds my sense of connection to myself, to our friendship, to all kinds of things, in a way that endures, that lasts for months afterwards. And so I'm missing what won't be there, not just the experience itself. Now, it's not something I have to have, so that's okay. And I remain grateful for everything that is the freedom to choose to even want to begin to plan and then be able to go to Scotland at some point in the future whenever I want, really, and work allows. So why talk about that? Well, I didn't just want to show you my ice axe and talk about climbing hills or my friend. But because there is a balance to strike. And as I've talked to people again and again through this time of coronavirus, I've heard people talk about their difficulties and their struggles and their disappointments. A lot of them, they're kind of first world problems. And almost universally, they finish that conversation by putting it into some kind of perspective. And some people say, essentially, well, I have to live with the fact that I can't have those things. Other people say, but there's always someone worse off than me. Some people almost apologize. And some people seem to downplay in the way they talk about those feelings, as though they are somehow illegitimate. They shouldn't be there. That they are selfish. That they're bad. That they don't express maturity, or they don't express true faith, or they don't express gratitude for all the things that are just the way they possibly could be in their life, and for them still in many cases sitting at the top of whatever pile it is that they're contemplating. I think it's really important for us to give ourselves permission to feel how we feel, and even though it is equally important for us to hold our disappointment in context. And that context being not just, the fact of our own lives not being as we might wish them to be, but the world being in significant turmoil. And for those who are poorest and those who are most disenfranchised in all kinds of ways, for those people, these times are desperate and genuinely about life and death, even more than they normally are. Whereas for you and I, well, we don't get to have our avocado. So here's my avocado for today. Here's the thing I can't have, the thing that I can't have, that is full of memories and full of possibilities, full of hope for me, full of meaning, full of identity, full of things that are good for me that I can't have. And I have to be okay with that. And I am okay with that. I just know that it's important not to just immediately relativize my sadness at not being able to go away for the next 3 days, as though it is somehow unimportant, even though I may very quickly realize that it is, in the grand scheme of things, quite insignificant. I don't know what the phrase, I don't know where I first read it, but it is, sort of, I think the phrase is, don't major on the minors. Don't make the little things the big things. And a lot of the things that are first world problems, that are the inconveniences and the disappointments of coronavirus, a lot of those things are minor things in the grand scheme of things. But we have to let them be there because they're part of our human experience. And I'll just say this as I finish. One of the things that happens when I look at my Isaacs and I think about not going to the hills and I express my disappointment and I reflect on my disappointment and I let it be there as part of my experience of life right now, is that I get to know myself better. Because it's the times when, when the poor mobile phone coverage leaves me outraged. Those are the moments when I learn something about my state of health, my state of mind, all kinds of things. So whatever your first world problems are, or whatever the things are that you think are your first world problems, that may be actually more serious than that. Or just the way that you and I have a tendency to diminish our emotions or our desires or our hopes or our expectations or our sadnesses or our longings or whatever they are. The way we diminish them by relativizing them off the table rather than into the correct corner. I hope that you can give yourself permission to feel how you feel, even if you know deep down that some of those things that have left you feeling that way are temporary, passing, and maybe less significant than they feel. Be kind to yourself in the midst of whatever your particular first world problems are. Back on Sunday with some thoughts about the readings for Sunday, and then back again next week. Have a good weekend.